Hello, nerds. Welcome to 4 Nerds Gaming. My name is Qeelin. Today, we're doing some more Qeelin's construction. Okay, first of all, I wanted to run over here real quick to the nether smelter, or as Happy has coined it, the helter smelter. Ah, those guys are so loud. And show you what we ended up doing for the final design here. Helter smelter. Last you saw, we were working on trying to figure out a way to make the light work. Well, two things have changed here. First of all, we had an item elevator here that had a flaw in it, that it would move almost everything up through it, but it always have one item. I'm going to turn those guys down because they're really annoying. But one item was always left in the top dropper. Did that do any good at all? Let's just turn that down. Okay. And I thought that was just the way that droppers had to work, and then I was assuming that that was gonna something we had to deal with by having a button over here that would cycle that top item back into the chest once it's through smelting. So I thought, well, we'll put a light on it. That way, when the light's finished, light goes off, it's through smelting, and we can push the button and retrieve the last item. Well, we're going about it all wrong. There was another design I found that I'll show you real quick, and also spent hours trying to figure out a way to make a light that would be on while it's smelting, and when it's finished, it would go off. And I tried all kinds of different designs, and Mrs. High Llama, I had to give her credit for it. She had a very simple design, but had one little tiny misgiving that I finally figured out how to do. I'll explain it to you real quick. First of the item elevator. Okay. So you may see the other one I had before. I had the same thing. It had 5 droppers stacked up in a row, and it had a comparator coming off this side, and it had to a block, and then you had 2 channels. You had to one side and the other. This side went to a chain of redstone torches like that, similar to that, and the other side went to a thing that would lock this hopper. It would keep no more than one item coming in at a time. Well, this design is very similar to that, except for it uses a comparator on this side, which goes to just a chain of block, repeater, block, repeater, block, and then back into the thing again. So it will make a circle. When an item comes in, it will make a circle around and activate this dropper, what's really funny about droppers is that when you put them back to back like this, the dropper will not shoot an item into the very next one. It skips to one. It goes to here. And I don't know why that is. It's some kind of, I don't know if it's a design flaw or what, but this last block here will also activate this redstone torch chain. So it will energize this block, which turns that off and on and off and on. But see, there's nothing. You see how there's nothing here? This torch skips to the 3rd one because this one is activated by the the first part of the chain, and then by the time it gets to here, the item's already up to the 3rd one, and this one will activate and shoot it up another 2 to the 3rd one. And then that one will knock it up all the way up to the chest. And I don't understand how that works exactly. I don't know if it's a exploit that we're taking advantage of that's going to be fixed at some point in the game, or if it's just the nature of droppers in general when they're plugged together. But if you were to put 3 together and activate the bottom one, it will shoot the item all up into the 3rd one. It'll skip the 2nd one altogether. So anyway, this design, if you want to build one, you can make this as high as you want. Now, there is a minor change if you have an odd number of droppers or an even number, and this is an odd number: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the chest. So in this there's a little bit different, and I honestly can't tell you what that is because I don't know right now. But the guy that I got it from, if I can think about it, I'll put the link in the description to his video. He shows how to do this. It's really, really handy, and works great. So the other problem we're having is trying to figure out a way to make, I won't show you all that yet, how to make the light come on, which is up there somewhere. Make a light come on and stay on there and smelting. We thought, well, we put them on the comparators on the side of the furnaces. So when they have an item in them, they'll know that that's there. When it's empty, it won't have anything. Well, that doesn't work because you put lava buckets in it. It sends a signal off that's so strong that whether it has an item smelting it or not, it makes no difference. So you can't use that. Well, I thought, well, okay, we'll use these hopper chains here. We'll use these hoppers as the items move through them. We'll know that it's got something in it, and it will send a signal off. Well, what happens here, because we have 8 furnaces, and they're all sequenced together, they're all in the same sequence, they're all working at the same time in perfect harmony, right? So as all 8 items drop into these furnaces, all items start smelting at the same time, and all items drop out at the same time. So you have 8 dropping out, and by the time it takes for these 8 items for there to cycle through here and move up, there is enough time in between there and the next batch to have a gap in the system. So if you put a comparator here, this furnace will be, this hopper will get 8 items in it, tick, 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 tick through there and move to the system, and then it'll be sitting there empty while the next batch is finishing the smelting process, and then the next 8 will come through. I thought, well, what if I put a delay, I find a way to put a delay where this thing, the gap between each group of items, if it's no greater than what a normal gap would be, because it takes the same amount of time to smelt each of the items you put in here, 10 seconds I think it is. So if you have some way to keep the signal on for long enough that when the next one comes in, it will light it up again and not sound off the not turn the light off, and we have sound up there too, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but so what I've got here now is a repeater, a comparator right after the hopper, and right after that we had to put a repeater in because this will, if it has one item in it, it'll only send out a signal of one one block of redstone. So we put a repeater here to bring the signal strength up to full. Then after that, it makes a little branch here. This side goes up to a redstone torch ladder. It goes all the way up to the top to where the light is. And then the other direction, it starts filling up all these repeaters that are on full delay. And it'll fill all these up slowly until this whole thing is full. As the 8 items are moving through this spot, it will turn all this on and turn the light on. Now, when the last item of the 8 moves into the dropper, this will go off, which will cause the signal here to go off, and these will start emptying out their signal. Bloop, 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 bloop. But before it gets all the way to here, the next batch will come through and light this up again. And then so the gap here, this keeps the power running while the gap is. Does that make sense? Let me, if I have anything on me, I can explain maybe if I can find some, maybe I can do some netherrack here in a minute. Anyway, I'll show you here in a minute what it does. But up here, I'll use this netherrack right now to get up here. It's really simple up here. There's nothing fancy to this, but yeah, again, it's the simplest things that seem to baffle me at times. So redstone chain comes up to here. One part of it goes over to lights the light up, which is right there on the other side. And the other part goes up here where there is, let's see if I can get out here and show you. Yeah, there is a little, the signal that just has these on all the time. And when the whole thing is through and the signal turns off, it will turn this torch off and then these back on, which will, because there's a delay here, you've got a repeater in between each one of these 3 boxes. You have the main one and then a repeater on full ticks. And the repeater on full ticks, you'll get a 3-tone doom, doom, doom. Doom, 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 or something like that, So you'll say, hey, it's done. So if you're sitting there AFK while your stuff's smelting, you just listen for the tone. And those guys are spawning again. I can't stand these guys. Don't tell him I said so. Oh, that was bad. So anyway, let me throw some of this netherrack in real quick and really, and I'll demonstrate it for you. I'll sacrifice a little bit of netherrack I have just for you folks. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how many hours I spent on this. I'm not the best redstone guy in the world, I gotta tell you. Some of the simplest designs just baffle me. Okay, bam, this 30 won't take me long to get through here, so bam. Now I'll wait till the light comes on, then I'll run down there as you see what it's doing. Bam, lights on. That means it's smelting. Oh, hurry, 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 hurry. It's going to take very long at all. Now, as these items are moving through, you see how it's already got a gap there. That's for the first batches move through. Now it's got the second batches moving through here. It lights the whole thing up, and then it'll end. This starts to clear out, but it's still getting a signal from there, and then it receives another one just in time to keep the gap from being there. See here, this will clear out. It's emptying. It's waiting for the next batch to come through. Now the next batch is coming through. And it'll keep going until you get nothing left. And then it'll empty the entire thing out. Oh, nope, that's the next signal coming through. It won't take long to get that 30 done. And that's the, see these? There it was. You hear that? Dome. What the? Oh, I know why. It's because it wasn't an even number. It had some stragglers at the end, so there was enough gap there. Because there is 8 items, so if you put a full stack in, or even amounts of stacks, it will divide them evenly, completely. Since I put 30 in, that's not divisible by 8 evenly. So you will have some that are finishing up while the others are going through, which will make a bigger gap. So that's what made all that extra noise. But hey, it's still at the very end of the process. You still get some noise. The light goes out. Bob's your uncle. Okay, that explains this. Got any questions, write comments, send us an email, whatever, and I'll try to explain it. And I'll try to remember to get that link, like I said, to this. For the, if you want an even amount, you do a little bit different thing here. Anyway, okay, I want to go head over to show you some of the progress we've got going on in the house. And then I want to talk about villager breeding. And what nightmare I've been dealing with that lately. I'll explain something else. Maybe we'll do a little building too. All right, catch you in a minute. Okay, back here on the homestead. Show you a little progress we've done on the house. I don't remember what it looked like last time I showed you this. But I will show you anything anyway. We did a little progress here. The wife had some really cool stuff on these. Let me show you from the outside over here. Look at the glass. I love this stained glass. It is so cool. Even just the black, it looks such like a looks like a tinted window. You know, so cool. Inside here, we've gotten some more ceilings done. This room still hasn't got any brewing stuff. I'm going to build a brewing machine in here probably. I was going to just put like a bar in and do something simple and boring. But I think I'm going to put some kind of big, cool brewing machine, similar to what Generic B, again, did on his. Basically, where you just throw all your items in a chest in the order you want them brewed, and out pops the potion that you want. We'll do that on a future video. Got the kitchen all done, sort of. We're going to close the ceiling up a little better, though. I don't know what we're going to do here exactly. Got some stairs put in. Well, I had the stairs already. I made a little downstairs basement. This is going to be the start of our chest storage area. It's also going to lead down to, there's a tunnel that will lead to the outside back behind the house where the, I've got the cow farm and the villager breeding that I'm going to show you here in a minute. Oh my gosh! You've got to be kidding me, you son of a... Well, that was lovely. Guess what I'm doing later is I'm going to repair my house. Okay, well, got the cool floor in here. I don't know why he's spawning in here. I think it's pretty light. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, we did a little bit more of the ceiling up here, the roof. I I did do this turret's top here. I've got the start of this roof getting over. But I think I'm going to change this. I'll show you why from the other point of view. To see, I've got this. I love the style of this. I've got this how I want it. I think pretty much for this size of a radius of this turret. I love the way this is not too. If you put straight stairs, it just looks like looks like this. It looks straight in. It looks too short and stubby. But when you kind of stretch it out and do like every 2 or 3 blocks, 2 or 3 blocks, 2 or 3 blocks, and make it kind of go up higher and higher. It has a gentler slope. I love that look. But I think it's too short. I think I'm going to put another story on it and then do the roof. Start this roof about the same height as this top is right here. So go up one more story and then do the roof up there. And then this back one is going to be even one more story taller than that. So you'll have a shorter one in the front and a taller one in the back. And originally I was just going to do it like that, but I think I'll show you when I get back here. So we'll kind of peek around here a little bit. Look at that. Talk about roof forest, huh? You can just walk right across that. I don't know what she's got going on in here. Ah, the wife has been doing some stuff that I didn't know about. I like. This may be our bedroom she's working on. I don't know. I may not have supposed to have showed you that. Oh, creeper. All right. Well, anyway, let's go up here and I'll show you this villager breeding I've been dealing with. Do a little construction maybe. If I can have all the materials I need, because I've got this contraption built out here. I'm trying to do some villager breeding. I built a... Okay, real quick. Let me see if I can get this. Yeah, let me go out here. This is why I think I should go up into the floor. If you look out here, look back at the house. You see how that looks? Where you've got those stairs are mistakes. I just haven't taken them off yet. But you got the house, you got the roof that high, and then this thing is just not. It doesn't look right to me. I think if it was lifted up to this height, and then you had the peak up here, I think it would look more tower-ish. From this point of view, I think it just looks too short. It doesn't match the rest of the house very well. It just kind of seems like it's... See what I mean? It doesn't make sense for that to be the same height to me. I think if it went up, maybe not a full story, maybe just like half of one. Not that high. Maybe like start the bottom like right in this area right there. Have like a little smaller... That's what it can be. It can be like an attic room where maybe this be the bottom of the floor. You'll have the bottom floor, you have the middle floor, and then from here it'll be like a little bit of just like maybe 2 blocks, 3 blocks high, and then start the roof. And then when you go in this room, you'll be able to look up and see the ceiling really high above your head, and then it'll look kind of attic-ish and cool tower-ish and all that. And put a couple of windows up there. I don't know. If you have any opinion about that, let me know, because I'm really kind of curious about it. I just think it looks like to me it needs to be a little bit higher. I just don't quite like it with that roof line. I don't know. If you look at it from here, it doesn't look so bad, but from that backside looking up, See, I definitely think 2 different towers, 2 different heights is going to look better. See, from this point of view, this doesn't look too bad. It looks kind of short. I guess I just don't want it to look too short and stubby. Like for the size of this circle, you don't want it to look short and fat. I want it to look like an actual tower. The taller it is, the skinnier it'll look. This one will look really tall and skinny. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Oh, my fat fingers all messed up here. Okay, back to the villager breeding. I've been trying, if you've seen any of Doc M's videos, he's on the Minecraft server, he's built, really? He's got lots of villager breeding going on. And I've kind of copied him a little bit and done some own stuff. Some of the ideas he did I like. I like that he's got this little little cell here at the end where you can grab individuals in here. And he's got this is basically, other than the top up here, this is basically copied exactly block for block from another guy's design, where he's got the 6 doors you have to have, right, and the roof above them, 1 guy in there. Then up here in this little cell, let me climb up here, because, yeah. You've got this... Huh. I can't get in there. Really? Okay, here we go. You've got this one spot here that has about... You can't get out, dude. I don't know if you know that or not, but... This one little spot, I think there's 4 guys in there. And this looks kind of complicated with the glass. It's hard to see, but basically what happens is this... Once a day, there's a daylight sensor over here that, with a comparator on it, and I have not a single block to really lift my... Here, I'll use these. So, the comparator is on compare mode. And the way compare mode works is it compares a signal coming in from the side with what it's receiving from this item that it's against. So you can use that for all kinds of things, but in this instance what we're using is daylight sensors put out, depending on the time of day, depending on the position of the sun, they will put out a different amount of current. So if you took a redstone wire and ran it straight out, at the peak of the day it would have the longest signal, and as the sun goes shorter and shorter and shorter, it's lower of a signal. So because this is a redstone torch, which is a full signal, it's subtracted a couple from, because the distance here. I had to put it over there because I think it would interfere with this other circuitry if you put it up next to it. But when the signals are the same, or I forget exactly how this works. I think if they are the same, or if this one is greater than this one, I think that's what it is. If this signal is greater than this one, then it will send out a signal. And this is just a simple pulse shortener. So you don't want to have, because it'll turn on, it'll send out a full strength signal. This will be this piston will extend and cause a brief tick, which we got to delay. I forgot the name again. This redstone repeater here is on a full tick, which will, I can't remember the exact delay it gives you there. I think with it all the way off like that, I think it's a half a tick. Then you got a full tick. I think each one of these clicks is a half tick. Anyway, it's on full. So it puts a little bit longer signal out, but you don't want it to be solid. You don't want it to be, this thing will come on, it'll stay on for like, while the sun travels overhead. It starts right around there, and as the sun travels over to about right there, it will shut off. You don't want it to go that whole time. You want this thing to send out a signal that will, it's like pushing a button, basically. It turns it into a button. You push the button, stays on for a tick or so, and then it goes back off again. So during that time, it will send out a signal which will activate these torches, and it has 2 pistons up here. One each attached to glass. One will open, and the other will push any babies who have been bred that day into this little other chamber here. There's another chamber right over. This is so hard for me to show y'all. It's right up here. Where is it? Yeah, it's right there where that sign is. There's another little chamber right there that's got water right above it. That's why that sign is there, so the water won't run down. So you have a 1 block high little hole here for the babies to sit in. And they'll stay in that spot right there until they become adults. They grow up, and their head will dip into the water, and they'll start to drown, and they start to swim up. So they swim up to the top, and they go across the little water trail here, down to here, and plop into our little holding chamber. That way, you only get adults in this chamber right here, because I don't want to have, something that some people designs that I've seen, they have the babies will be in here with this, and if you send this little, let's see if I got I have one on me. If you send this minecart across this little corner spot, see the water is in the corner. It washes the guys all the way, pushes them up into this corner. And when a minecart travels over here in this corner, it will pull one out from inside there and put him inside the minecart, and you can move him around easily. He can't get out of the minecart. But anyway, I'm getting all kinds of crazy sidetracked. The problem is, you notice there's no breeding going on right now. I've had the hardest time trying to figure out why there's no breeding going on. When you first set it up, it'll work just great, and then it'll stop. And I kept thinking, what's going on? Is there some kind of flaw in my system? Is there some kind of problem here? What's going on? Well, I realized this is not a good design, because the way this works, a villager is in where these doors, right? Which is the center of the village. Each one of these doors is counting itself as a house, because it has, light above it. That's why all this is made of glass, and so this will count as, actual a house. And you have to have a block above it with one block. You got the villager in there. So what happens is the game sees, oh, hey, there's one villager in this village that has 6 houses in it. We're going to commence breed mode. So all the villagers that can breed, which these 4 guys up here, will start to breed. Like, all right, great, they're breeding. And they'll breed and breed and breed until I get, this many right here, which is, I have 3 over here. And I already have some that I moved into here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in here. So it will stop breeding. I'm like, well, what's going on? Why is it not infinitely breeding like it always did before, right? Ooh, spider. All right, where'd you go? Oh, it got me anyway, didn't you? What's happening is what causes the infinite breeding is the fact that villagers are counted on about the same level in a so many block radius of the center of the town. Since this is the center, because these are all the doors that count as a house. Well, there might be another one somewhere else that's counted, but basically you have at least 6 right here that are counted. And the total is counted of all the guys that are on the same level. So these guys that are above are not counted towards the total because they're raised up above this plane. Those guys over there, those 3 are all counted. And I'm pretty sure the ones down the bottom probably are not counted either. But if I killed all 3 of these guys over here, I think it would commence breeding again. Well, the way you go around that, the way Doc M did it, I should have paid attention to his design to begin with, was that he has his little breeding cell here raised up really high. And then everything else going on is below it. And so it doesn't matter how many villagers you have down here, they will not count towards the total that are in the town, which is where the doors are. Zombies are just going to be burning. So, what I'm going to do is, I like this design where you, once a day, will push the babies out. They won't move anywhere until they grow up, and they'll move across and land in the cell. I like all of that, but I need to make it where this bottom area is lifted up high, and this breeding area is moved down low. I need to swap these positions. So what I'm going to do real quick is, I'm going to tear all this down and grab my materials. I'm going to have to go get some more glass, and I will come back here in a second, and I will build this the correct way, the way I should have done to begin with. You can also, there's a way you can add a way to shut this off, because as long as I'm on this area, if this was built near spawn, it would breed infinitely until the server shut itself off. Because there's been times people have built infinite village breeders that just breed and breed and breed and breed and breed and breed, and nothing ever happens to stop them until it finally shuts the whole server down, because there's so many entities here that they just shut the thing down. They can't keep up thousands of entities. So this is not quite as big a problem in this area, because where I'm at on the server here, I'm a long ways from spawn. It's way over there, I think. No, way over there. So this is not loaded unless somebody's over here. So when I'm here, my wife's on, somebody else is running around, these guys will breed, but when I leave, they'll stop. But there is a way to shut them off. I'm going to use a minecart. This guy here is going to be sitting in a minecart, which will do two things. One, I can move him out of the around the doors to shut off breeding, and also he won't be doing this all the dead gum time. Oh, drives me crazy. The hardest part about this whole thing is going to be trying to salvage these villagers. I may just try to keep a couple. All I really need is like 4 up here. I can really just need 2, but I'll keep 4 just so that it'll make breeding a little faster. But I'm going to put some track up here and try to catch these guys through the wall without losing them. It's going to be a trick. So I'll make sure and do that on camera so you can see what a fiasco it's going to be. All right. I'll be right back and we'll get to working on this.